Okay, I believe the female is just flown in with food. Um, just about 2 minutes ago, I definitely heard the male making an announcement call. And then off behind me in the direction behind the camera, I could hear the female making hoarse vocalization, so she was probably responding to getting a food delivery from the male, and I just saw her come swooping right up into the nest. And yeah, there's definitely a feeding, so I think the female is kind of closest to the camera, and you can just see the hawklets kind of popping their heads up to participate in the feeding in the background. And this kind of actually confirms what I've always suspected, is this particular nest in this tree, most of the structure is actually on the far side of that main trunk there. Oh, that's interesting. That looked, I'll have to review this footage, that almost looked like one of the hawklets was actually slightly branched up on one of the sort of extending branches just right above the bowl, and just kind of hopped down trying to get in to get some of the food. So I can see two hawklets for sure, and I saw a third move. I think it's going to be, well, it's hard to say. It might be tough to tell how many there really are until they fledge. Because most of the bowl looks like it must be on the far side of that trunk. Unless you get lucky and they all start branching and just kind of stand either on the rim or on those branches that are just visible very close to the rim. They all did that at the same time. Might be able to easily figure out how many there are. Oh, and there goes the female. That was a pretty quick feeding, whatever it was. Of course, if there's 3 or 4 hawklets in there, I guess it doesn't take very long to finish off whatever the food is. So here comes one of the hawklets back over. Yeah, so there's, oh, I think I can see a 4. So I think we do have 4. 1, 2, 3, and then one with his tail kind of facing the camera further in the back. Again, it'll be easier to tell when kind of reviewing the footage carefully, but from what I just saw with my eyes, in real time, I'm pretty sure I saw 4 at a time there. 1, and they all look pretty much similar in development. This looks like definitely they've gotten far enough along that they should start branching pretty soon if they haven't already. That one on the left surely has been eating some of the food because it's got a visible crop on it. Yeah. It'd be interesting if there was more than 4. Like I said, 4 is the only amount I was managed to confirm for last year, because I only really saw them after fledging. But Coopers are able in some nests to have up to 6. 4 seems reasonable, both because of last year and the year before, when I definitely got very good looks at all of them in the nest, in the other nest tree, and it was a 4 for this particular pair. So Oh yeah, actually one of the hawklets is kind of edging out there along one of the branches, and they're obviously doing some flapping and trying to kind of exercise their wing muscles. Of course, their balance right now is kind of iffy, so they're always one step away from trying to catch themselves. And they're not too confident in when they go out along these branches, but they seem to manage to do it without falling, so good look at the secondaries there. Yeah, now you can easily see all four of them now. Keep a close eye and see if any sign of a fifth. There's the one, two. Oh, maybe there is five. One, two, three in the foreground. Fourth, way in the back. Yeah, I can't. Oh yeah, that might be a fifth. Hard to tell. One, two, three. Yeah, there are another. I'm even more convinced there is five. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess the food is giving them a surge of energy. They all seem to be really moving around now. Yeah, so one has kind of gone off on a branch to the foreground right. One's running around and back. It's kind of surprising they're so active right now, because today it's extreme heat. Temperature probably over 30 already, and they're talking about temperatures are basically 40 when you factor in the humidity, so it's got to be pretty hot up there, although at least they've got a nest with a lot of shade. I think it was good luck that I caught that feeding, because that's something that when they're in this stage where they're starting to branch, and you might miss one if it's kind of gotten far away enough off the nest pole that you don't realize it's there, the food will generally bring them back. So that's a good time to try to figure out who's there, because they'll generally try to get back to the bowl for food if it's available.